Hi everyone, thanks for finding my channel, Arkytior Collective. I try to read the energies that are prominent in the collective and tell the story that the cards want to tell. Not all messages will resonate for every person, so if it sounds like it's for you, but then like the next message doesn't, then leave what doesn't resonate now, but keep it in mind because it might make sense at a later time. I intend for my readings to be timeless, so whenever you find them is when you're meant to. Oh, I hope I find everyone well. Let's center and clear our space, and then we'll call in our protections, okay? Take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. We ask all positive energies to attend us and guide us to the messages that fulfill our highest good. Guides, ancestors, patrons, angels, archangels, and source, please come forward and be with me. Michael, guard the corners. Gabriel, make the messages clear and useful. And Metatron, be present to protect the seekers and the deliverers of the divine's communications. Oh, okay. Okay, and let's see what the fairies have to say about what's going on in the collective now this week. I pre-shuffled, but I can shuffle a couple more. Okay. Oh, flipper already? Tim the poet. Just sitting there watching. Two at a time, okay. The Oakman and Lady of the Harvest. Oh my, damn it, I forgot to. Okay. 9 and 3, please. 9 and 3. There's a lot of slow energy here. Teum doesn't move. The Oakman. Arvel Parrot wanted to jump. Somebody needs to say something. But he went back in, so he's not going to say it. We got List of the Shadows. Oh, honesty. Uh-oh. Someone needs to be honest about something. They can't say it. Bright Mother, that's like Empress energy. Feminine's just handling her shit. Tam's just sitting there watching. Oakman is dragging it out. Guardian of the Gate. There's a level up here. There's a cycle ending. This might have to do with the 1111 portal. I may do a separate reading for that. That would be a twin flame reading for 1111. And oh, Luathis the Wild. Feline, meaning loose ends need to be tightened up. We've got the Laum on the bottom, Ecstasis, and Sylvanius. And Loskana. Interesting. So, I get the feeling here there's somebody watching out the ending of a cycle, which makes sense. We're entering a new eclipse season. There will be an eclipse on the 19th. I'll go into that in another reading also. That might be, this Guardian of the Gate could be the 1111 portal. That might be significant for the Twin Flame collective. But we've got the Feline and Luathis the Wild. This is... the Feline is nagging details that still have to be attended to before we can move forward. The fact that it comes after Guardian of the Gate feels like somebody's gonna miss this portal. some in the collective aren't done tying up these loose ends. So it actually looks like he's going through it anyway. Do you see how this is set up? It's like he's just crawling out of the gate, out of the portal, but somebody knows that there's things that were left untended. So we're going to get clarification on it, but I just wanted to say that I don't disagree with this sometimes, though. I feel like sometimes there are things that will never be. How do I put this, Spirit? I feel like this is saying go through anyway. Go through the gate anyway. Um, there might be some loose ends that need to be tended to, but it feels like these loose ends are things that might not be in our control, you know? So it's like we're gonna go through the gate anyway, and maybe some of us are just gonna cut those loose ends. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how else to explain this. It's like I feel like there's an energy here of these loose ends are just tethers that are keeping you from going through that gate or that portal, from going through and letting this cycle end, whatever cycle that you happen to be in with the collective. And I feel like these loose ends are like an anchor keeping people in the past. They might be things outside of our control that we can't choose to end so cleanly, you know? So whether it's a clean break or a dirty break, or it's messy, or it's amicable, whatever, I feel like we're being ushered through anyways. I'm not saying that leaving these loose ends behind is not going to bite us in the ass later. It might. But just for the sake of movement, we might have to leave those things by the wayside so we can move on. You know, can you give me anything else? Luwathas here is impulsiveness and haste. So it's like somebody's getting through on the sly, almost. But it's needed. I feel like with this bottom row, it's needed. Otherwise, you'd miss your opportunity to level up. And some people may have to. Because if you don't do all the lessons that you're supposed to do in that certain time period, you can't move on. Like school, you know? If you don't pass everything by the end of the year, you got to repeat it. But there are certain circumstances where people are just allowed to graduate because they age out of the grade, you know? So this kind of feels like the level up is here, but there are loose ends to take care of before you can go through. But there's haste and impulsiveness here. Go for it now. See, this is like we're being shoved. Go through the gate now. It's so urgent, you know? It's like somebody's sneaking through. Someone's sneaking through, but for good reasons. They're not being shady about it. It feels like I'm never gonna resolve these things, and they're just holding me back from growing. I feel. So Tatum the poet here, he sits and watches. That's all he does. He sits and watches. He's one of the stone men. He's one of the younger stone men, as you can see, but he is one of the stone men proper. He does have wings, but they are barely ever used, so they're folded back on his back. There's nobody else in the picture with him. He's just sitting there watching. This is often called the forlorn lover. So it feels like someone's watching, and then the oak man is in the middle, and Teom is looking dead at this Lady of the Harvest. Another like kind of Empress energy card. Lady of the Harvest is completion, like with the gate here. Reaping and release. Accept change and release the rest. The Oakmen, depth, strength, see what's true, deep ancient wisdom, consider carefully, and remember the elders. This is all very earthy energy on top here, and then we've got with the Bright Mother, so that's like these four here are very earthy. I would say these are 3D concerns. Release the shadows, help for the hopeless, lost and fallen. Souls connecting for healing. That's very sweet. But there needs to be honesty here. Somebody can't say something. Be clear on intent. Be clear in intent. Be honest and clear. Have tact and truth. Humility, idealism, and a sharp mind. And with Bright Mother, it's the divine feminine. Giving, it's family, it's fertility, it's shelter, intimacy, natural processes of daily life. Okay, so this is like the Nine of Pentacles, which is the Empress doing her day stuff, you know. Grocery shopping, getting the kids ready, going to work, all the daily life stuff. I feel like someone's hiding in that. Someone's hiding in 3D responsibilities. Why? Someone's not being honest. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Loam. She's one of the Moon's daughters. It says, back off and relax. Let the energy flow. Charity, generosity, and balanced karma. Clear exchange of giving and receiving. So this might be love. Because we've got ecstasis here, too. Rapture and motivation. Joy is power. The soul song. There is nothing but joy. Separateness is an illusion. I think I'm being called out hardcore right now. And we also have Sylvanus, which is the mask of truth, the aha moment, a sharp perception. We've got two cards of perception here. New truths, cut away false perceptions. Underneath that is Loskuna. And the only reason that I go 4 deep instead of 3 is because they look alike. Like the Laum and Loskuna, they're looking off to the future. They both are in the same position. They both have, I mean, this could actually be like the same energy, but one in the light and one in the night. You know what I mean? One in the daytime and one in the nighttime. So this could be 3D and 5D, which makes perfect sense. This could be, I feel like Loskuna would be the 3D. Here she is on her toadstool. She's the frog maiden. And the Laum, which is, I believe, one of the Moon's daughters, this is her in the 5D. But they're both looking off to the future. Okay? And in between them was ecstasy and the mask of truth. Okay. I'm going to pause like I usually do and consider the spread, and then because I feel like there's something more here. I feel like this was just somebody getting in their own way. I really do. But I have to take my energy out of it so I can read for the collective, because I don't want to read for myself too. But then again, if I'm reading something in it that I can relate to, then I have to figure that there are others in the collective that are experiencing the same thing, but in a different way. So sometimes I have to be honest about what I'm reading for myself, because that might be a message for somebody out there who could be going through the same thing, you know? So, hmm. So with honesty, he always has a very urgent look on his face. Like it pains him that he can't say something. I urgently need to be honest with you. Or I just heard, I need you to be honest with me. Is this what you want? And I heard them in reference to the bright mother. Is this what you want? Family and fertility and shelter and intimacy. Is this what you want? Then go through the gate. Do you know what I mean? Clean up the loose ends from where you're coming from and go with haste, because the portal is open now. See, it says go now. But, I mean, Taeyong's just sitting here watching. Somebody is watching. I heard Roz from Monsters Inc. I need your paperwork, Wazowski. That's paperwork, like the feline. That's like turn in your keys, or let's see, what kind of stuff does the feline tell? Spirit, what kind of stuff is the feline bringing? No, take that out. I heard like signing papers. Um, I'm drawing a blank for the moment. But like I said, I'm going to pause and I'm going to consider, and then I'll be back. All right, you guys. Um, so I was reading them in rows, but Spirit told me to also read them in columns. I feel like somebody maybe who was on the sidelines watching is actually going to come forward and go through the gate. If I go like this, because we've got Taeyong the Poet here, he just sits and watches. Underneath that, we've got Lisa the Shadows. Look how she's ready to jump. She's flying towards the future. Flying, you know? This is souls connecting for healing. So that's why I'm thinking this could be a love read. I'm not sure if it's twin flame proper, but this is definitely a soulmate love reading. Or like new love, because with Guardian of the Gate here, it feels like this is something that somebody's jumping towards, you know, like somebody is gonna take this opportunity and go towards this gate, the gateway. Maybe someone who hadn't chosen to do it before, which is what I'm getting from Taeyong the Poet. So Taeyong is watching from afar, youthful energy, clear sight, poetic gifts, adventurous romance, and the watchful poet. So yeah, he just sits there and writes music and poems about this love that he is watching, but he'll never go towards, because he's one of the stone men. They don't move. The one thing that does stand out with Taeyong, however, is the clear sight that the card says he has. He has sat and watched for so long that the patterns that he sees happening, he already knows what's gonna happen, because he's been watching these patterns for so long. This goes along with the Oakmen. They are so old and have been watching time pass so much that they know exactly where it's going. there was another card that is it. It's not. It's Mike the Myomancer. He's another one of the stone men, and he's one of the energies that is so slow that he again is like intuitive almost because it's like they're removed from time. They never age, but they are like the spirit of, how can I put this? I just heard they're the spirit of time moving, but they don't move. It's hard to explain. Somebody, this could be an earth energy, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus being the fixed energy of the three. Also, with all the earth energy here, I feel like this is, like, again, 3D, mundane, everyday life stuff. Somebody who was sitting on the sidelines was ready to jump and go through this portal. The level up, a new journey. There's no going back from this, though. The thing with this is time will pass whether you join the flow or not. You know? So this portal, this gateway, this new level up, this new cycle coming, it's going to come and go whether you're ready or not. Ready or not. What's that? Ready or not, here I come. That's all I can think of right now. So then we've got the oak man here, deep ancient wisdom, right above honesty, being honest and clear, right above the feline, loose ends and annoying details. So it feels like coming right down the middle here is there's just an energy of I'm stuck, and I need to be clear about why I'm stuck. And I'm stuck because I'm still dealing with some things that I need to tie up before I can move on. Some of it may center around family because of the bright mother. Come on. Come on, Annie. Come on, Annie. I'm going to pause real quick. Okay. Completion, reaping, release. Somebody's finishing something. Release and rest. Family, fertility, shelter, intimacy. This, I think, goes along with this souls connecting for healing, because this is intimacy and the divine feminine. Okay, so also wanted to say that because I didn't see twin flame proper in the reading until I had to pause and look at it. So we've got the divine feminine here in the bright mother. And I was like, well, we're missing the divine masculine. Himself is not here. However, himself is here in a way. In Sylvanius, you can't really see. Let me try something real quick. Okay. I'll hold this here. And okay, that might work. This. Do you see Sylvanius's face? That's actually the face of himself, the card, the divine masculine in this deck. Even though the card proper isn't out, we do have the divine masculine here. He's about to put on the mask of truth. And in the card, you can also see that he has the sword of truth. The thing with the mask that a lot of people don't get right away, I didn't even get it right away, but sometimes you're like, well, how can you see what's true if you're putting a mask on? And the way I the way Spirit explained it to me was, it's like putting on those cool plastic glasses where once you put them on, everything's like sparkly. Because our eyes are made to see and process the things in the 3D that are in front of us. But that doesn't include things in the 5D that we need to understand. The truth from the divine, the soul contracts and the cycles of time that we need to go through. We don't see that stuff because it's not in the 3D. The only way we can see it is if we adjust our eyes. And when we put the mask on and look through the eyes of the mask, it adjusts our eyes to see the truth. The truth in this case is ecstasis. Ecstasis to me represents the connection. And we do have a mention of healing, to souls connecting for healing. In the void, I believe. The void to me is the 5D. The 5D is the vibrational plane that the twins can interact on, even if in the 3D they're in separation, which most of the time they are. There is a cycle that did not close out last time. I call them the stragglers. Those might be the ones that are trying to figure shit out right now, and come through this portal, at least. But this set of stragglers is still dealing with a lot of loose ends, and we'll get some clarification on that. But I'm supposed to mention that the truth is, I can't stress this enough, you guys. The truth is the connection. That's the truth. I feel like the mundane 3D stuff that the feline is bringing in is almost detrimental to this moving on, because it keeps you tethered to things that you can't change. And we keep holding on to those things that we can't change because we're beholden to them. But it's preventing us from going through the portal. I feel like this energy is a warning energy to not get bogged down in those details, but it's also warning that, clear up as much as you can, because you have to go through the portal anyways. So the less baggage you bring through with you, the easier the movement's going to be. And the Wathas is here waiting to jump. He's like ready, set, go here with. He wants to take the risk. He wants to take this new opportunity. He wants this to go for it now. Spontaneous. It says spontaneity and ambition. Yeah, it feels like somebody's just going to be like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Look up that song. It's pretty funny. There's a 10-hour loop of it. Just fuck this shit, I'm out. Right through the portal. Screw this, I'm out. Because you know what's on the other side of the portal? Woohoo, intimacy, connection, a love that you can connect to heal both of you. But there needs to be honesty in this, The honest to God truth that they will see once they put the mask on is the connection. It's like once you put that mask on, you can see what's happening in the 5D. And ecstasis to me, besides ecstasy and joy, to me represents the void. And the void is the 5D where the two souls can meet. I feel like these are the divine feminine, one in the 3D world as Losguna, and one in the 5D in the moon's light as the Lam. Every time I hear the Lam, I think lamenting. So like she's stuck lamenting. Maybe she's lamenting that the twin can't come through right now. It's like in the 3D, she's taking care of her shit. But in the 5D, she's looking for him just the way he's looking for her. But he's sitting here, as always, not moving. This might be afraid. Or it just might be his nature to sit there and watch, you know? Let's get some clarification. We're going to move on to the Gilded. So let's see what is going on here. Spirit, can you please clarify and elaborate on Teon the poet, this clear sight? Okay, if we read it that way, clear sight, looking at the Oakman, which is deep ancient wisdom, and Lady of the Harvest, which is completion and release. I don't want to say he's going to miss his chance, but every time Teon comes out, I feel like this energy is just going to sit there and miss their chance. But then again, I feel like there's enough movement here where Teon actually might get off his ass and go through the gate anyways. So please clarify and elaborate, Teon the poet. Whoop. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. So Aquarius energy, but could be any of the air signs. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. I give the Queen and King to the older of the three, which would be Aquarius. But it could also be Libra. Strong Libra on Queen of Swords. She has her sword up, so whoever comes to her needs to come in truth. See her sword? It's raised. The end of it has that little ball of light. Is that better? There, that's good. She's the no-nonsense queen. You know, she's off her throne. In some decks, she's sitting on it, but she's not sitting on her throne on this one. She's coming forward, you know? So that's good energy to see on top of Teon. It's dynamic, not dynamic. It's air energy. They're thinking too much. Stuck in his head. But looking for truth, because that's the Queen of Swords does. She only accepts the truth. So with Teon and his clear sight looking towards the future, he's only accepting what he can see as true. Can we clarify and elaborate the Oakman? Depth and strength, see what's true. See, he's looking for what's truth. And we've got honesty down here. So I'm wondering, what's the lie that he thinks he's trying to get around? You know, what is he searching for? Can you clarify the Oakman? Knight of Wands. Okay, this is fire energy. I give that to Leo, the Knight, because it's the middle child. Aries is the page, because it's the younger. Knight of Wands I give to Leo. Consider carefully, depth and strength. See what's true. What's true is the desire. Passion. Dynamic energy coming in. So if a page is a messenger, then the knight is the message. You know, it's like he feels this opportunity is at hand. Can you clarify and elaborate Lady of the Harvest, please? It's too many. Way too many. Justice in the Moon peak, though. Lady of the Harvest, completion. What just flipped here? 10 of Cups. That's a happy home. But is it? Let me address the 10 of Cups. So, the thing I always say about the 10 of Cups, especially in the Gilded deck, is it represents a happy home. Yes. 10 Cups, emotional fulfillment, emotional happiness, stability, the ending of a tough cycle. All the 10s are endings to a tough cycle. So it may feel like this is the end all. This is the end goal, especially being on Lady of the Harvest. This is things coming to completion, and the 10s being completion. Something of a home dynamic may be ending here. And that's okay, because if this has to do with the masculine and the feminine, I want you to look really closely at this card. If you can see who's in this happy picture, it's a mother and a daughter and their cat. But the masculine is nowhere in this picture. I mean, it could be said that he's the one who took the picture, but that's not how this works. This home was created, and he's not even in it. All this happiness was made for these people, but he's not even there to enjoy it, And that's what's complete. It's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with not being able to enjoy what I worked so hard to create. That's what I feel like is the completion and the release. It's like they're finally releasing. I mean, it very well could have been happy, but somebody was missing. He wasn't there. Can we please clarify and elaborate on Lace of the Shadows? Souls connecting for healing, help for the hopeless, lost and fallen, healing deep damage. Please clarify and elaborate the healing that's going on here in this soul connection. What's the healing in this soul connection? What's being healed? Or what needs to be healed in this connection? What needs to be healed in this connection? We got the 5 of Cups. That's regret. Oh, somebody is in deep regret. This is loss. What I'm getting off this card is I had to. Please forgive me. I had to. He's lamenting that these are knocked over, but I feel that he's taking responsibility for being the one who knocked them over. I don't believe that he's not seeing the 2 cups behind him. In this card, the feeling is, please forgive me, but I need to protect these 2 behind me. And these were not fulfilling anything. So it's like he knocked these over on purpose because he's trying to protect the 2 of Cups back here. And the 2 of Cups is the divine love offer. So he knows. He knows what he's done. And he needs to be healed from this guilt. Please clarify and elaborate honesty. Be clear in intent. It's the Ace of Swords. That's definitely clarity. Definitely clarity. Truth. I heard a new truth is coming. It's like honesty is holding the sword, because he can't say, honesty can't say what he's trying to. His throat chakra is lit, but it's got nowhere to go. I've described honesty as like the throat chakra is lit, but it's kind of dim. Third eye chakra is lit, but it's kind of dim. And if you see how it's kind of like arcing through him, it's because when lightning or when electricity is trying to find a path to go and it can't, it just dissipates on itself. So it's almost as if this is really hurting him, because his truth has nowhere to go, so it just kind of bounces around inside him. Whatever he's holding back is hurt. It hurts him to hold it back. So he's, I believe, being given or needs to utilize the Ace of Swords so that he can cut through what's keeping him bound, because he needs to get that truth out. Can we please clarify and elaborate on the Bright Mother, the Divine Feminine, fertility, shelter, and intimacy, please? Ten of Pentacles tried to flip, but it didn't. Here we go. Oh, that's too many. Too many. That was the Ten of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, difficult ending. Ending to a difficult cycle, but it didn't flip properly. Too many. Clarify the Bright Mother, please. Oh my God. Okay. Justice. That's Libra energy. I'm going to keep going because I think I see a message coming through. Can you clarify the Guardian of the Gate? We've got Ten of Wands. Clarify the Feline. Oh, jeez, no. Three of Wands and Ten of Pentacles. I feel compelled to take this. Waiting. Just waiting. Waiting on something that they put an investment in to come to fruition. That's what the loose ends is. Waiting on something. Like work? Money? Something like that. Can you clarify b.lopez the Wild? What's this risk that they want to take? That they're being so hasty about? What's this impulsive risk? The High Priestess. They're not saying. Not saying. Bottom of the deck, King of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. Oh boy. King of Swords, Aquarius energy. King of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. And the Hierophant is Taurus proper. Okay. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'm not gonna pause the video again. Y'all just gonna have to sit here and watch me think. Actually, no, I'll just pause it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this real quick. Like I said in the beginning, I really wanted to remove my energy from this, but Spirit keeps telling me just say it because others might be in the same position. So I'm just going to have to say it. And if this reveals too much about the situation, then I apologize now. But hopefully somebody will be able to get some guidance and what's the other word? Verification out of this. So what I see here is like the Queen of Swords, which is an air sign, is looking at the King of Swords, which is another air sign, and they're discussing something. I feel like this fire energy knight who's looking towards this Ten of Cups that was the happy home is lamenting that this didn't work out, but he's got to go, you know? And someone regrets that it had to end. It had to end because it was false. That's what this particular Ten of Cups always tells me in the Gilded deck, because there's no masculine in this happy home. And yes, I know gender ain't shit, but I have to go by what the cards look like. So that looks, there's two feminines and their cat. you know? And yeah, that's a super happy home. But where's our divine masculine? He's not there. He's not there to enjoy anything that he built. Who knows if he was even there to build it? That's what this Ten of Cups always tells me. This is false happiness or empty happiness, you know? Like I just kept hearing I wasn't even there to enjoy it. That's the thing. So I feel like even though the Knight of Wands is a dynamic knight, I feel like he's on his way out. And then here we've got the Five of Cups, which is this regret. And it's like, I regret having to walk away from this. But the truth is, I needed justice. I needed to find this justice for me. And the justice in this particular situation is a new opportunity for family, for intimacy, for maybe this is just like somebody who moved even. So I regret, I'm saying I, but not I proper. Not me, I'm saying I, like somebody in the collective is talking. Had to move on. I regret having to leave these three behind, but I needed to preserve this love. I needed the truth. I needed this clarity. The clarity was I needed justice in this situation because this was a horrible, painful time in my life, and I'm finally putting that burden down. And you can only go through this gate unburdened, so you have to put this down before you can move on. And I know that there are still things that I need to fix, but my time is running out. I'm just going to have to leave these go. But but I still have to wait. I have to wait on what I wanted to invest in because it's not ready to pick yet. She's got her basket, but there's nothing in it. She's just out here surveying what's happening, making sure everything's healthy and growing. But it's a waiting game. It's waiting for this investment to come to fruition. But in the meantime, this is like in the meantime, I'm learning everything I can about where my heart wants to be. Even though I'm not talking about it, I'm not sharing it with anybody. The High Priestess, she has divine knowledge, but she doesn't talk about it. She just keeps it to herself. I'm supposed to say something else about this High Priestess. What am I supposed to say? She's looking towards the risk she wants to take, and she's flying towards it. She's not even telling anybody about it. So this might be an energy of somebody who's just going to run like a bull through that gate. I regret having to leave behind things that aren't finished, but if I stay and deal with this, I will never be able to leave. That's kind of what this is saying to me. And up here, it's like we got the queen and the king together, and they're discussing. Like the king is an assessor. The queen cuts away bullshit. She only accepts people in front of her that bring the truth, and then it's like she's conversating with this king of swords about what to do next. No, about where she's been. There's two kings here, and they're looking at each other like what? There's two kings here and the Hierophant. And oh geez, Judgment underneath and the Devil underneath. Ooh, we'll get to that. Right now, it feels like she's looking backwards at these two kings. One is an air sign, one is an earth sign. And this has something to do with the divine contract, because that's what the Hierophant is. The Hierophant is the divine contract. Judgment underneath saying this is being called back. The devil underneath means, oh Jesus, something is keeping the lovers chained, and the tower underneath that, something's being destroyed. That's amazing. So it's like she's looking back at all this that happened, this divine contract that was called back from the past. It's keeping them bound, and it destroyed everything. It really did. I'm wondering if the Six of Cups is going to come out. But what she's looking at are these two kings, and these two kings are looking at each other. It's almost like they're going to fight over her. I'm not saying that there's two men that are going to fight over this Queen of Swords. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying these two past energies are at odds with each other, and she's staring at both of them. And then had to make a break for it. Boom! There she goes. See? As the Knight of Wands. I'm out. Because this was not as happy a home as it looked. But, so the King of Pentacles is, he's the last king before the Emperor. Give me something, Spirit, about these two kings. I heard two princes by spin doctors. 1, 2, princes kneel before you. Yeah, that's what I said now. Princes, princes who adore you. Go ahead now. One has diamonds in his pocket. That's alright now. This one said he wants to buy you rockets. Ain't in his head now. Marry him or marry me. I'm the one that loves you, baby, can't you see? I ain't got no future or family tree, but I know what a prince and lover ought to be. I know what a prince and lover ought to be. I still... that divine contract underneath is killing me here. Alright. So, want to recap? An air queen and an air king talking about this fire knight that had to leave because this 10 of cups was an illusion, but that is a completed cycle. That's done. This 10 of cups is done. So somebody left that dynamic, jumping forward to a connection that was a soul connection that was made to heal them. But even with this beautiful new opportunity with a new person to heal and connect and everything, there's still a lot of guilt there. I regret I had to do it, but this connection needs to be protected. That's what I need to be honest about. You know what I mean? So we're going to keep going. Oh, pause. Alright, I actually skipped ahead a little bit and laid out the next layer. And what did I just say about the Hierophant? I said I wonder if the Six of Cups is going to come out. And bam, the first one to land on the Queen of Swords was the Six of Cups. Okay, so my issue with the Six of Cups, I'm fucking over it. Hiss. This is nostalgia. This is a love from the past. This is part of the divine contract, which came up with the Hierophant, which came up again. See, right next to it, we got the Hierophant again. There's a lot of mirroring here. So we get the King of Swords next to the Queen of Swords, and on top of that is the Six of Cups. We got the King of Pentacles and the Hierophant and Judgment. So something was called up from the past that this Taeum the poet can just sit and look at. It's like I can't do anything to go towards this. He just sits and laments. But I feel like the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords are talking about this, you know? Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this? This Six of Cups. This is not only love from childhood, but this is a connection from past lives. This has to be resolved. It has to be finished. What did I say earlier about something being finished? Something has to be finished. Something has to be acknowledged, firstly. The Oakman, this is long time. This is that card that he's got a face upside down, too. There was passion there. I'm hearing either way you look at it, this was going to happen. You see the face there upside down, but there's a face here right side up also. It's like either way you look at it, this had to happen. Because it's a divine contract. Divine law. The Hierophant it's the Pope-ish. It's like the head of the church, which is an institution that makes decisions for our lives. Okay, but this is also divine institution. This is law written a long time ago. The Hierophant is a contract written, and Six of Cups is something from the past, even past lives. Right here between the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. We've got the Sun on top of the Ten of Cups, on top of Lady of the Harvest. I feel like completing this cycle is really going to illuminate a new path. And with Lisa the Shadows wanting to jump, there's regret here about wanting this new path. But damn, look at this Knight of Swords coming in hot. It's like, I want it. I'm coming. I'm coming for it because I need it. I want it. And I'm coming with honesty. I'm coming with clarity and truth. And I'm coming to bring balance and justice. And it's interesting because we've got justice twice. We've got justice twice in the same row. And then here, there was one that poked out that said karma, empathy, and connection. This was the singer of Connection that poked out earlier. And I was looking at it like karma and connection. Okay, that's interesting. But justice is karma. Justice is divine karma. It's like whatever you reap is what you sow. And you can't bitch about it because it's what is meant for you. What is meant for you. So here on the Divine Feminine, we have justice also. Her justice, her karma, her ability to move on. And then on top of that is the Two of Coins. She's juggling something still. She's really like weighing the options here. Which I feel like there are none. I feel like there are no more options. It's just deciding which path to go down. Here we on Guardian of the Gate, we've got the Ten of Wands, which is ending a difficult cycle, and the Six of Coins, which is a really good card. It's equal receptivity, giving and taking. Something is being equalized here. Something is being evened out. I feel like that goes along with justice. This might be even like a minor arcana justice card because things are balanced, you know. Here we've got with the feline, which is unkept promises and unfulfilled duties, because somebody's waiting on something to come to fruition. And what is it? It's the Ace of Coins. So somebody in this new cycle is waiting on money, I think. And here's the Ace of Coins right here. In this deck, this is the Tarot of the Divine. These are folklore and mythology from around the world. The Ace of Coins is one of my favorite cards because this represents Jack and the Beanstalk. And in that story, Jack took the last beans that he had. They were broke. Po. They were po. They weren't poor. They were po. And he took the last beans. In some versions it was 3, some versions it was 5, and some versions it was 1 bean. And he planted it. He planted it and he waited and he hoped that it would turn into something. And I think that's what's happening here. I think that's what this loose end is somebody's waiting for their money to come in. Somebody's waiting for their ships to come in. And what's on that ship? Money. They're waiting for the financial ability to make this move. So here on Luathus, which is wild energy that they want to jump impulsively, is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is like, well, hold up. Because there may be some things here that we're not seeing clearly. Let me think about this for a minute. And while she's sitting there thinking about the things that are unseen, that she might run into problems with, she's going to get all wrapped up in her head about it. The Eight of Swords is somebody who is prisoner to their own thoughts. And I think that's what's happening here. Bottom of the deck, we've got Death, which always tells me this shit ends now. We've got the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. This is something keeping the lovers bound. We had the Devil over here too, I think. Under Judgment here. We had the Devil, which is, yeah, something keeping them chained. But the thing with the Devil energy is that those chains can be lifted if they're not on there tight, you know? But it's intimidating. So sometimes people feel like they can't move. Underneath that was the Hermit. Somebody going inward to get some clarity. I might want to get some love quotes on this, but I don't really have any communication here. So what I feel like this is saying about what's happening in the collective right now is there's a section of the collective that they're ready to go through this new cycle. I mean, yeah, it's the stragglers because we've got the Six of Cups here and the Hierophant. We've got a matched pair in the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. We've got the Hierophant twice. We've got Justice twice. We had the Devil twice. I mean, the Moon is saying something's hidden. That could be just fear, and that could be fear. We've got Ecstasis here that's representing the connection. We've got Sylvanus here, which is the mask of truth. We've got Loskana and the Lam, which is the feminine in the 5D and the 3D, looking off to the future. One's ready to jump. One's still contemplating what's being hidden. it's this divine contract. The divine contract came in, and we had the Tower over here too. We had the disruption of the Ten of Cups, but the sun illuminated the fact that this needed to end because this divine contract has to be fulfilled. We've got the Hierophant twice and Justice twice. This needs to be acknowledged. And even though we've got the King of Swords with the Queen of Swords, behind him was the King of Pentacles on top of the Hierophant. I believe that the connection that they're entering that's for healing is the Queen of Swords with the King of Swords. But the connection, the divine contract, the Six of Cups connection, is the Queen of Swords with this King of Pentacles. This is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I give the kings to Capricorn, but underneath it is the Hierophant, which is Taurus proper. So this could actually be a Taurus that she's dealing with. The Judgment is saying that this is calling it back from being dead. And what's being called back is this Six of Cups connection. Okay, but it better fucking go through this time because I'm tired of seeing this cycling in. And just sitting here on Teom the Poet's dumbass who won't jump for nothing. It's, as long as he just sits there and stares, this Six of Cups will never get resolved. But it keeps being called, it keeps getting called up because the Hierophant. It's got to be dealt with. And finally, I think, with the sun coming out, maybe Teom is finally realizing that I don't fucking need to jump or she's gonna be lost. I'm gonna lose her. I'm gonna lose her because there's juggling here. She's juggling in herself. She's all tied up in her head about where she's got to go. But she's got to go. This Knight of Swords is saying, I gotta move forward. I will get some love quotes between these two because I feel like one is chasing the other, but the feminine's getting too far away. She's gone too far through where he's stuck on the other side of the gate with this feline energy, waiting on things to come to fruition so that he can go. There's an impulsiveness here, he wants to go, but there's things that he needs to keep to himself. And it's destroying him. That Eight of Swords is, you surround yourself with these toxic thoughts, you know? And it's just like a very stuck in my head kind of energy. Not mine proper, but mine is like whoever in the collective is talking here. Okay. Let's get some love quotes on this. See what they need to say to each other. All right. It feels like they're getting further away from each other. I channel for the Divine Feminine. I am the Divine Feminine in the Twin Flame dynamic. I am one of the stragglers. The last cycle that closed for the twins, I was not a part of. But I still had to move on. I still had to go through the portal. I still had to go through the gate. I still had to keep living my life, even though that damn Six of Cups is not resolved yet. In my case, it is, I believe, with the King of Pentacles. Unfortunately, that king, and it might be this way for many, many others, because I'm not special in this dynamic. I'm one of many, many, many. So hopefully this finds the right ears. But this King of Pentacles is being Taeyeon the poet. He can't move. He sees what he wants to go towards. He sees what he needs to leave behind. He sees what needs to happen. He sees the connection. He sees that there needs to be movement forward. He sees it all. But he can't move. And that feels like very frustrating energy, you know? So let's shuffle these love quotes and see if they have anything to say to each other. I heard 4 shuffles and a cut. Oh, we've got one poking out already. I'll keep that out. 2. That was terrible. Give me a better shuffle. That was terrible. Give me a better shuffle. I gotta be done. Okay. That's good. Okay. Cut 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It says, I know there's more to our connection than what I understand. That could be from the Divine Masculine. Why aren't you in my arms? That's from the Divine Feminine. I'm trying to get my shit together because I want to offer you something meaningful. That's from the Divine Masculine. And you make me forget my name. Can I have yours? That's from the Divine Feminine. Okay, so from what I get from this is the Divine Masculine is aware. He's at least awake. We've got Sylvanus here, which is the Mask of Truth. I believe we've got Ecstasis, which is the union and the void. They can come together in the void. I believe, we're just stuck. It's very stuck energy. That's what I'm getting. She had to go, and she's regretting having to leave it behind, but there was no choice. She had no choice. It's the most frustrating part, is that she had no choice and he can't move. And either he can't move or he just doesn't want to. So I hope this resonated for somebody. I hope it was useful. I hope it made sense. And if it did resonate and you'd like to help out a little witch, plant something down in my Venmo, Arkytior46. And I will be back in a couple days. Thank you very much. And everyone remember to use your safe word. Bye.